Hello, everybody. Welcome to the meeting. My name is Atticus and I will be the host for today's meeting. Today, this meeting is to formally induct our officers, and we also have the honor to invite JuniorCoach founder and current chair Adora Wang to share her experiences. So first, I'll introduce our new members. First off, the president, Nikki, Sheu, who manages external and internal affairs and also oversees all the clubs. The Vice President of Internal Affairs, Jonathan Pang, who manages and promotes fundraising clubs, the volunteers' activities and hours on the website, and manages the WeChat groups. The Vice President of Internal Affairs, Atticus, me, who manages the JuniorCoach official WeChat account, volunteer promotion, both online and in person. The Manager of Internal Affairs, Sheu, who supports the Vice President of Internal Affairs. The Treasurer, Wendy Li, who manages JuniorCoach's financial assets and liabilities. The group leaders, Renee, Tung, Tung, Michelle Wang, Ingrid, Cheng, Trista, Huang, they all manage and promote the self-run clubs and support the Vice Presidents of Internal and External Affairs. Last but not least, the Sacramento Chapter President, Cheng. So, shall we welcome our officers with a speech from all the newly elected officers? We will start with the president, Nikki Sheu. Nikki, whenever you're ready, you may present your speech.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Nikki, and this year I'm the president of JuniorCoach. I'm really thankful to be in this position because this organization means a lot to me, and I've been a part of it since 10th grade when I started tutoring elementary school students one-on-one for reading and math. I think JuniorCoach has improved a lot in the past few years since we started introducing clubs, and I'm really glad to see that there are so many new tutors and students that have joined us. I was Vice President of Internal Affairs last school year, where I helped manage JuniorCoach's emails, the Instagram page, created Google Forms, designed some flyers for our clubs, and continued with private tutoring. And this year as president, I'll continue performing these administrative tasks and further help to make sure that our organization runs smoothly. Over the last few years, I've learned how to be a better communicator during tutoring and work on my time management skills, which has been really rewarding for me. And I really hope that JuniorCoach can continue to grow in the future and that our community can help more students develop a lifelong love for learning. Yeah.
Thank you for your speech. Very good. So we will now go on to the Vice President of Internal Affairs, Jonathan Pang. So if you're ready, please present your speech.
Okay. Hi, my name is Jonathan Pan. I am the Vice President of Internal Affairs, and like Atticus said, I mainly focus on managing the tutors, mostly by answering their questions. I also try to promote our organization on other websites like Volunteer Match to try and get new students and new tutors to come in and join our community. And lastly, I help with setting up clubs, mainly by setting up Google Forms and then later promoting it on WeChat. And besides that, I also do separate one-on-one tutoring, which I've been doing for around 2 years. I also participate in the Harry Potter Reading Club and help with the Wordly Wise and Singapore Math Club, which you should also definitely help with. And in general, I'm just really grateful for JuniorCoach for helping me gain more opportunities and have a way to tutor other students and spread our knowledge. And I hope to have a great year working with you guys.
Thank you. So the next speech will be from the Vice President of External Affairs, which would be me, Atticus. So I'll begin shortly. Hi, everybody. By now, you might know that my name is Atticus. I like swimming, music, and reading. My favorite instrument is the piano, and I am currently a sophomore in high school. Nice to meet all of you. I'm glad to have discovered JuniorCoach back when I was a rising freshman, because of this organization's view. It's similar to mine, using what we have to help people near and far. Our individual reaches are limited, but as a team, we can help more people than we could each individually. Now, as the Vice President of External Affairs, I hope to help JuniorCoach make more positive impacts upon the world with activities such as fundraisers for charity and collaboration with other nonprofit organizations. I look forward to working with all of you this year. Okay, now the next speech will be from the Manager of Internal Affairs, Amber Sheu. Amber, if you're ready, please go ahead.
Hi guys, my name is Amber. I'm currently rising third year in college, and I'm going to be the manager of internal affairs. In the past, in JuniorCoach, I started out by doing one-on-one tutoring and then eventually moving to teaching more clubs, which are a really good way of earning hours in JuniorCoach, and it helps fundraise for the organization as well. And then I've been doing some other things such as helping stand in for Harry Potter Reading Club when no one else could make it. And also I trained some new tutors for the Wordly Wise Club. And I've also helped out making flyers in the past, and I hope to continue doing these sort of things in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is the treasurer, Wendy Li, who may or may not be here today. So Wendy, I do not believe that she's here. Next, I will introduce the board members, which includes Adora Wang, Mike Leo, and Nikki, who already was introduced.
I'm just gonna assume that was like the introduction. But yeah, hi everyone. I'm Adora. Super nice to meet everyone. It's like very surreal that like I look back and we've like gone this far. So thank you everyone for being here. Congratulations to the new board. And thank you guys for like all of your help. Like I truly mean it and really do appreciate it. Your contributions like mean so much to this organization and to me. And yeah, I just like I love all you guys. Thanks so much for like being an integral part of the organization. I could do like a quick introduction. So essentially, I started JuniorCoach back in 2018, but now I am also a college student, same December. I study at UC Berkeley. I'm studying economics and data science, and I am a sophomore in college. So I think this is like in my introduction, so I'll just include it. I am mostly in like the finance career path. So if you have questions about that, if that's something you want to consider, I did internships in consulting and finance, which I'll get more into later as I talk about like how JuniorCoach has like helped me professionally. Feel free to like shoot me questions about that and also about college if you want to ask about that. So yeah, that's a quick introduction about me, I guess. But yeah, like congratulations to everyone. Again, it's very surreal because in 2018, I actually founded JuniorCoach technically on a hospital bed. I'm not sure if like people know about this, but that's like what happened. Essentially, like I spent 10 years of my life playing golf, and a lot of that was through community resources like JuniorCoach, because golf is a very traditionally inaccessible sport. So instruction would be expensive, the green fees would be expensive, just like practicing would be expensive because it wasn't one of those sports where you could just like go to like a tennis court and play. So you had to like buy everything. And if you didn't have the resources to do that, it was very, very hard to improve at golf. And so when I unfortunately wasn't personally allowed to play anymore, the way I decided to pivot was instead like contribute to this, because it was a full circle moment of me utilizing like community resources. And now I'm trying to like be like part of that movement to like make golf more affordable. So I started out like very grassroots. I walked out with my crutches on the golf course with like a few of my family friends and their children and just started teaching them. And then they started referring their friends. So more and more people started coming, and then noticed that there's actually like pretty insane demand for a service like this, which is like free lessons for golf, which is pretty much unheard of. And thought like, wow, okay, like I feel like this could really be something. So grabbed a few of my friends from my school's golf team, started playing together with the kids, organized some like small cute events. And we like just really grew from there because the golf community is extremely strong. Reached out to a few friends from like out of state and down in SoCal, started like a little movement there. And then the pandemic hit, and I think that was like really, really hard because golf and like it's a very like face-to-face sport, right? Like you can't really teach golf over Zoom at all. And that was our entire mission, which is like human connection, being able to be there in real life, teaching your kids and teaching your students in like real life. And we had none of that because the pandemic. And so it was like a tough time where we had to decide as a board what we should do now. And we decided to like maximize the opportunity of like Zoom, because even though it might lack a bit of human connection, it also worked better for scale. And so that's when we decided to pivot to extracurriculars, to other activities like academics, other sports or other arts, or literally any of like the other like 30 plus extracurriculars we now provide. So saw insane growth there. And yeah, like we actually got like a lot of junior coaches from all over, all backgrounds to help out, which was pretty insane. And honestly, like it's crazy that we kind of made the best of that situation and now we're here. And yeah, super grateful. I think clubs are also like the best addition to the organization, by the way. It's been insane looking at how much clubs have been like influencing for the better, the organization, also the students in it and the tutors in it. So that's like a quick TLDR of, I guess, like a junior coach like origin story and how we got here essentially. And I'm sure like we can do even more. Like I pretty much kind of stepped away freshman year because I was like, okay, like maybe I should like reorient myself in college, but now I'm a sophomore. I'm reoriented enough, like it's fine. So I think I really want to take this year and try to like very much re-engage with community and work with like all of you guys, because I think I've come back with a fresh perspective now that I've delved into like the business world, started understanding like how businesses work, how like effective organizations work. And so would be super happy to help out in any way I can and start having discussions with you guys, and hopefully like as much as like maybe we can like learn from each other, but we can also like learn together and grow together. I think it'll be really fun. And so yeah, as everyone kind of said already, super excited to like work with you guys and we'll be happy to like just provide the perspective, I guess, like of a college student. If you have like any questions about college application process, getting jobs, I got all of you. I'm here for big sister energy. So yeah, like definitely here for every one of you. And I think like I'll just like end on the note of how junior coach has like helped me in college and like I guess like more professional careers. So I spent around like 3 years just really personally being like the operational kind of manager for the organization. And so through those 3 years, really discovered my passion and love for like business management and really immersed myself in business. And when I entered college, UC Berkeley, there were quite a few opportunities to engage, one of which was through like consulting. And that's something you don't have to understand at all. Like it's like a very opaque industry. But I did a consulting internship this summer, freshman summer. And then I'm working a private equity job right now. Again, you do not know how, like, you do not have to know what that means at all, but finance essentially. And then I'm doing investment banking this summer as well. And all of those careers were because like of my experience in junior coach. I was like, wow, like I really want to do something in this. And it has like tremendously helped me out in both like knowing what my career path is and also like helping me find the steps towards those career paths. And I think like one biggest thing I learned through the communities I like was in college was the necessity of like helping each other out, of paying it forward. Like all my mentors went through the same thing that I did when they were maybe like freshmen, sophomores, and they were so eager to help out, answer any questions they like that I might have. So I really want junior coach to be the same way. I really want the people that have like been through this process, maybe like either whether that means like college applications or job applications, to like really help each other out, pay it forward, because we're all here to support each other. We're all here to like make the organization and its people grow. So yeah, that's why like I truly want to be like your big sister through all of this. And just like message me if you have like any concerns for anything. I'd be happy to help out. So yeah, like it's like a big spiel on everything, including JuniorCoach, who I am, how it has helped me. I'm just really excited for what's about to come. I know it'll be amazing, and I'm happy to help out in any way I can. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Adora, for that speech. And just a little bit of background information on Adora. She is currently a sophomore attending Berkeley School of Business and also a project manager for the Berkeley Venturing Club. And she has begun to form and lead her own business team. Also, you may use the chat section for Q&A. I will read off the questions that you post, and well, you can just send them privately to me.
Also, like, feel free to unmute. That's good too. Like, we could just like have a conversation. But yeah, just let me know. Even if you don't have any questions now, or like if you just like want to talk later, like we'll be happy to. Just like shoot me an email. I'll send it here.
Also, you may keep sending your questions through the chat throughout the entire meeting. We still have a bit of time left. And so what's next is to introduce our group leaders. So the officer positions are promoted from the group leaders, so they may very well be the faces of next year's presidents, vice presidents, or managers. Our group leaders are Renee Tung, Ryan Tung, Michelle Wang, Ingrid Cheng, and Trista Huang. And let's go down the list if you have anything to say. Renee Tung, if you have a speech, you may begin if you're ready.
Okay, so hi, my name is Renee Tung, and I'm a junior in high school. I'm really grateful for this position, and I would like to thank JuniorCoach for this position. I've been part of this organization since 10th grade, and I run the Piano Theory Club. I also participate in the Harry Potter Reading Club, and I'm glad I've had this opportunity to gain new speaking skills.
Thank you. Next up is Ryan.
Okay, hello, I'm Ryan. I'm a freshman in high school this year. Some of my hobbies are animation, 3D animation, and playing video games. I started last year and now I'm one of the group leaders. And I just want to say thank you for letting me have this position.
All right, thank you for the words. Next up is Michelle Wang. I do not believe that Michelle is here. Next up, Ingrid. If you're here, then please unmute yourself, or you don't have to. If you would like to, please say a little something about yourself and say a little stuff about just what you want to say to JuniorCoach.
So hi, my name is Ingrid. I am a sophomore in high school. I have hosted Word Wisely, and I am very thankful for JuniorCoach giving me this opportunity to be a group leader.
Thank you. And last but not least, we have Trista Huang. I do not believe that Trista is here either. So now we will move on to introducing Wade Cheng, the Sacramento chapter president.
Hi, I'm Wade. I'm a senior at Oak Ridge High School, and I've been a JuniorCoach volunteer for 3 years now. I started tutoring kids one-on-one in subjects like programming, flute, and chess. Later, I hosted a few clubs over summer to fundraise for JuniorCoach's website upgrade, and I then applied to open the Sacramento chapter and be the president. I also hosted orientations for introducing people to how they can become JuniorCoach tutors and how they can be successful tutors. In past years, our chapter has hosted 18 clubs teaching various subjects from reading, art, music, computer science, foreign language, history, culture, and more. In the coming year, we hope to make this club even more successful. Finally, I'd like to take this time to thank all of our volunteers, parents and students for their participation, and to thank JuniorCoach for giving all of us the opportunity to contribute so much to our community. Thank you.
Now, I guess all the speeches are done, and it is time for the Q&A. One question that was in the chat is, any tips on how to manage time when you juggle between school and volunteer and other extracurricular activities?
Okay, I can really start this. But feel free to jump in anytime. But I think like honestly, this is like the question to ask. And I think that strategies work differently for a lot of people. So definitely like test trial your own. But I think like two things for me. The number one thing honestly is like Google Calendar. It has been saving my life. Essentially like in college, and I'm not sure if you're like asking this as a college student or as a high school student, but I noticed that like in college, life is just like a lot more independent. No one's telling you where to go. Like, yeah, you have class, but you don't have to go, which is very different from like high school where like attendance is like mandatory. Everything is like 9 to 3, right? And you have to go to school at that time, do these classes at this time. And with college comes like a lot of more freedom, a lot more independence. You have to determine when you want to go to class. You have to determine when you're sleeping, when you're eating, when you're hanging out with friends. And a lot of times if you don't like structure out your day by yourself, you're going to like lose track of all your work and like all your like social life stuff. So Google Calendar is, I think it's the way to go. I essentially just like block out my entire day, like lunch from this to this, like work from this to this, social life, party, other things, right? And like I know like, okay, by 3 I need to be done, by 5 I need to be done with this. And while like you can definitely not follow those guidelines as well, it's just like you have to practice that diligence, and like having that visual format really helps me out. That's like the first thing. Second thing, I would say like don't neglect the importance of your social life and leisure. It's extremely important for not only like your overall well-being and your health, but also like to make sure that you're productive in other senses. So for instance, like right now I'm like juggling a few things. So I'm taking classes. I'm a project manager for a consulting club. I'm also working a part-time job. And I'm tackling on like responsibilities for JuniorCoach as well. So those are extremely like time consuming commitments I'm taking on this semester. And it's easy to kind of get lost in the weeds and say like, okay, like I need to do all this stuff, like no leisure time, no fun time. I won't hang out with friends, just like get my work done. But like we're humans, we really can't operate like that. So I really make sure that every single day after like a long day of work, like I chill for like 2 hours, whether that means like being with friends or like just like watching Netflix, because that time is super important, not only just like getting enough rest like by sleeping, but getting enough rest by just like winding down and doing things that you love with people that you love. It's going to make you more productive in every other sense, even though you can feel like you're like wasting time. You're not. Like I promise you're not. It's essential for your health. So don't neglect the importance of that. And I know it might be hard, but yeah, like take care of your well-being. That's the best thing. If anyone also wants to jump in. Okay, if no one wants to jump in, we can like go to the second question. That's okay.
It's a good answer.
Yes.
So the next question is,
Okay.
what would you do differently if you were to go over your high school years again?
Okay. I would say like, honestly, getting like more involved. Like I think it's amazing that you guys are already in JuniorCoach. Like as a high schooler, I think this is like one of the best things you can do. Like not joining like JuniorCoach specifically, even though I'm super grateful that you did, but like being in a community like this where you are in a community with other people of similar interests, of similar values. I think that's the best thing you can do in your high school years. Like yes, focus on studies, yes, focus on like other activities that you love to do, but ultimately it's about the people. It's about like the people that you meet and like that you interact with, that you spend time with, that you grow together with. And I think that if affordable education and this kind of mission of providing like accessible education is something that you really value, being in a community of people with similar values is something that I really wish I did more. because most of my high school like years were directly focused on like one singular community, which was junior coach. And I don't regret that at all. Like I love the time that I put into it, but I think like it's really good to explore other communities and just like be involved as much as you can with people that you care about. So yeah, like props to you on already like being in this organization and caring so much about it. I think it's amazing. But yeah, like make sure also to like spend time doing things that you love. Like I was a big theater kid, so wish I did more things in theater. And I'm fixing my mistake now. So in college, like I'm very much actually involved in theater. So but yeah, that's like I think my big piece of I think redoing high school if I had to.
So if there's nobody who wants to ask any questions by unmuting, we'll go on to the third one. Or I guess the next one. How can we be more involved in junior coach?
Yeah, so I think there's like plenty of ways, and I think that's something I really wanted to talk to, especially today. Talk about, especially today. First of all, like thank you for even asking this question. I think like this is why we have like the growth that we have, because all the people in the club really care about the organization. I think there's multiple ways, right? You can, I'm not sure if like you're already on the officer team or not, but you can consider that. I think it's like the most direct impact is like working as an officer, if not like working just like as like a regional officer or heading or spearheading your own club, down to like the most dilute things, such as like just telling your friends about this, having them join also as junior coaches, spreading the word, spreading the message. But I think like one thing that's less, I guess, surface level that I would say would really help the club is like genuinely like tell us what you think. Essentially what I wanted to do today was hold this meeting called a stakeholders meeting. That just means like everyone who's involved in the club, they just tell everyone else what they think should be improved. And I think that's like one of the best ways you can be involved with junior coach, which is like, okay, like if I ran a club, for instance, and something just like wasn't going right, and it's an organizational problem, the best thing you can do is not like, okay, like it's fine. The best thing you can do is tell the officer team, tell the board, like have a discussion with them and get involved on fixing that problem. Because like the way we improve the organization is through communicating, is through like discussing those issues and improving on them. And I think like that's one less, I guess, like direct way that people often like advise you to make impact, but is one of the most crucial ways that an organization runs. And that like, and what makes like a successful organization, I would say. But as for like, if you just wanted to know more about the roles and responsibilities, ways you could like more directly get involved, please just feel free to email me. I already sent my email like in the chat. Would be happy to also hop on a Zoom call if you have any more questions about like anything about junior coach or anything. So yeah, also thank you like M for the questions. These are like amazing.
So the next question, what skills you gain through junior coach are most useful?
This is also an excellent question. Thank you again, M. I think genuinely people management. And I think people management is such an abstract concept that not a lot of people really like think about, because when you're thinking about like skills, you think about like, oh, like I learned how to like do Excel sheets, or I learned how to make a PowerPoint. It's like very hard technical skills that a lot of people talk about often. But I would say like those are very like individually learnable, right? Like you can like go on Google and search like, how do I make a PowerPoint, or how do I like insert a clip into a PowerPoint? Those are very just independent activities that you could just learn. However, I think like people management is something that is like very opaque and something you can't really learn on your own. You have to be involved actively in the process of people management to learn people management. And junior coach was especially tough because I had to first like find people that cared about the mission and the values that I did, which was harder than you can like than you might have thought. And also get those people passionate about junior coach specifically, and make sure that there's no conflicts, because if there's so many people in an organization managing at the same time, there's bound to be conflicts, there's bound to be idea clashes. Learning how to manage that. And that's going to be an essential life skill moving forward, not only in college, but in your job, because you're going to be working with people of all different backgrounds and all different ideologies. And you as a team member, you need to learn how to manage all of those opinions and all those ideas. Not only manage them, but also like not be afraid to like give your own, right? And I think speaking and communicating is super essential. Making sure that your ideas are heard, especially like a lot of us here are Asian American, and we need more Asian American voices, and we need more Asian American leaders for our like future movements, whether that means just like social movement or a business or an organization like this. We need more voices like us, and you need to not be afraid to speak out, even though it might be intimidating if you're in a room of mostly non-Asian Americans or people that like perhaps hold historically more power. You need to not be afraid to like give your opinion. So not only being like a team worker, but also like standing up for yourself. And I think those two things I really developed through JuniorCoach, and through my kind of 3-year experience of really learning how to manage and people manage an organization. So yeah. I also have a direct message, and I can read that out loud if that's okay, Atticus. Okay, cool. So the direct message says, would you consider study abroad during college? This is also a great question, because I actually did study abroad already. I studied abroad it was a very interesting program though. So I'm considering doing another one. But over the summer, so just the summer, I was in New York for 2 months for my job. So I did my internship in New York. And then I had a whole month between the end of my internship and when classes started. So I was like, what am I going to do? So essentially, I chose to study abroad. So I went to Germany for a month and I learned German. I think study abroad is genuinely like a very great experience. And I think that everyone tells you like, oh, it's like life-changing, it's amazing, it's everything this, everything that. It's great, but I think like it's life-changing, not in all positive ways. And I think like that in itself is good, right? Like you want to study abroad because you want to be immersed in culture, you want to be uncomfortable. And that's what I was. Like in Germany, I spoke zero German. I did not know anyone. I was often the only Asian like person there. So it was a lot of just like learning to step outside my comfort zone, being immersed in new culture, embracing that new culture, meeting new friends from all over. And I think that's like the biggest benefit of study abroad. And just like as a general rule, I guess like for my advice on how to grow as a person, always seek out like not being comfortable. That is the best way you can learn. If you're always comfortable, you would never really grow. So I think that's like the benefit of studying abroad in college is like you are forced to be uncomfortable. And I would highly, highly, highly recommend, especially if you go to a country that like you don't speak the language of.
It's a great answer. So next we have a question. How JuniorCoach experience helped you get into Berkeley?
So I would say like for colleges like Berkeley and maybe other like similar academic levels that you're looking into for colleges, I think it's less about exactly what you did, but like what you exhibit through that experience and what you showed you learned through that experience, right? So it was less about the fact that I did JuniorCoach, but it was the fact that it was really, really true and like near and dear to me and my experience with being kind of unable to afford a lot of resources for golf and having that translate over into like a full circle moment of like paying it forward. I think, and you know, first of all, I don't know what the college admission officer was thinking. I don't know if like this is genuinely the reason why he or she like let me into Berkeley. I will only say what I thought maybe was the reasoning, which was just like the fact that it was something I was truly, truly passionate about and something that I wanted to see change about an industry like golf that is predominantly white, male, wealthy. And me as like an Asian girl who is not wealthy. I did not check any of those boxes. And I wanted to be able to let people like me and other minorities and other girls especially know that they still have a place in that community, even though maybe like 90% of the people don't look like them, or if they feel uncomfortable. And so I think the way I kind of presented what was important to me was why Junior Coach was such an impact on my admission to Berkeley, in my opinion. I think similarly, you can express that in any way, right? Like if something is truly passionate, something is like that is truly a passion for you and your values, definitely express that not only through your resume, like the extracurricular section, but also through your essay. Is like it is the chance to show them what you are, and who you are and what you care about. And so I think that was perhaps the biggest reason. Yeah.
Great. So the next question. From your experience, do you have any advice for seniors who will apply college this year?
I would say my number one tip is work on your essays. Your essays matter so much. Like essentially like view it as this, right? If you're an admissions officer, so just view it as the other end. If you're an admissions officer to a college, you are getting maybe like tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of applications. And by like, no matter what, like whose resume you read, it is bound to get boring. It is bound to get repetitive. Trust me, they have seen every single thing ever, right? Like you could be the world leader of playing with yo-yos and they would have seen that like 2 billion times already. So your activities themselves often don't really make you stand out, or like as an applicant, not that much. Essentially, it's more of a, okay, like he or she did stuff in high school, he or she was passionate about it, cool, but that's like every other kid. So what is going to make you different? That is your essays. So focus on your essays. Those are where your personality and who you are really come across, and be sure to not neglect them. I think one of the biggest reasons why I was like given like the Regent Scholarship at Berkeley was because of my essays, because I communicated my story, like how much golf meant to me, how much Junior Coach meant to me, and also like a quirky thing about theater, because those are who I am and those are what makes me interesting. So don't think of it as like a activity rat race of, oh, like I need to be in a top position, like better than everyone else. That's not really going to make an impact. What's going to make an impact is how much you convey your values and your traits and your personality through your essays. And that's going to be hard, but I highly suggest like trusting your voice. You know a lot more about yourself than any other person. So trust you and your writing skills and your voice, and work on your essays. So yeah.
So another question. Great to learn that studying abroad could be a rich experience. For high schoolers, what else can we do during our summers?
Yeah, I think for high school students, don't worry that much about your summer. I think like summers are definitely very important for college students. It's like the time you should like get internships or like learn something new or study abroad, as I kind of did. For high school students though, you can do like the same things. You can like get an internship, you could do research, you could study abroad. But honestly, my biggest piece of advice for summers is just chill. Like you're a high school student, I promise you'll be fine. Like you do not need to do anything over the summer to impress anyone. I think like maybe you could do something like junior summer, because sometimes college apps ask about like what you did your junior summer. But any other summer, don't stress. Just be a kid, be a high school student. I promise you, your later summers will all be stocked full with work and like studying, and yeah. So while you can enjoy your summers without much penalty, please enjoy your summers. Hang out with your friends, go on a vacation, like hang out with your family, say like I love you to your parents. Like, those are important things that you should do. And don't stress that much about summers. But yeah, like just do anything you want. That's my advice.
Another thing to add on to that answer, a junior coach successfully ran a summer camp and a concert to help Ukrainian refugees. And we are planning to do it again next summer and every year. And it's, I guess, a good way for all of us to spend our summer because you don't really do much. You just play a video, record a video of you playing music, and then you send it in, and then we compile it, and then we post it online. So this is a good way to help out your community and the world overall without doing much. And another question, can you share your experience on applying scholarship?
Yeah, definitely. So I would kind of like segment this in two parts. So the first one is like the Regent scholarship that I got for UC Berkeley. This is school specific. So I think it's, yeah, it's quite a different experience than like, I guess, like other types of traditional scholarships. So I'll talk about that first. So the way that Regent scholarship works is for UC Berkeley and other UCs too, they have this merit scholarship. So this is like, you don't have to apply for it. So when you apply for UC, you don't have to like do any additional steps to be considered for the Regent scholarship. So essentially what they'll do is like maybe like this year, 110,000 people applied to Berkeley. They'll look through those applications and judge not only based on like if they'll get in, but also if they should be considered for the scholarship. So it's an automatic submission process. If you turn in your application, you will automatically be considered for the Regent scholarship. And this is a merit-based award. So they'll look at everything from your grades to your extracurriculars to your essays, very, very holistic, and they will automatically consider you. So don't worry about doing any additional steps for the Regent scholarship. What will essentially happen is if they select you for a perhaps becoming a Regent scholar at Berkeley, they'll ask you to do an interview with a professor here. And so you'll do that interview with a professor, and then some people will get it and some people won't. So I would say like this is kind of unconventional because you usually have to like do something to get a scholarship, but for Berkeley specifically, you don't have to do anything. They essentially just pick like the people they think would best fit their idea of like a Regent scholar. And if you make it past that round in an interview, you get the scholarship. It's slightly competitive, but again, like I would say like don't really worry about it. I think it's going to matter maybe a bit less, especially if you get outside scholarships, which is what I'm going to talk about for outside scholarships. These are the more conventional scholarships of you apply, you get it, or you don't. So I would say like, first of all, for outside scholarships, there's going to be a lot of scholarships that you can apply for, but know that the ones that you can actually genuinely win are not the big ones. Like statistically, you can be an amazing applicant, you can spend hours on your application, but for things like the Coca-Cola, for instance, Scholarship Foundation, those are extremely hard to get. Definitely still try for them, but just know that like maybe the chances are smaller, like way smaller. So what I advise is look for local scholarships. Like there are quite a few people in your community that just wants to give you money, give like seniors money. So look for those opportunities. That's what I did. I applied to a lot of them, and most of the outside scholarships I got were from small local organizations. And these are like perhaps smaller in monetary value, but like they still contribute a lot to your total funding for college. So don't neglect those. And at the same time, again, like even though you should look for small local scholarships, don't be afraid to apply for larger ones. Like I applied for a larger one, I actually got it. So don't be like afraid to do that. And the larger ones have the benefit of also giving you more money because they're larger in scale. But yeah, let me know if you also want me to elaborate on anything, any of those processes.
So if no one else has any questions, then we can stop the meeting here. And also Adora's email is in the chat. You may contact her if you have any more questions you want to ask. or if any questions you think of after the meet. So congratulations to all our new officers. Junior Coach looks forward to a great year ahead.